It's officially October, which is a very special month for our Pitty friends. Plus, we have another adoption special that you won't want to miss. We're going to tell you all about that and so much more right here on Pets on Parade. Good morning and welcome to Pets on Parade, brought to you by Thrift TV. I'm Kelsey Dickerson with the Arizona Humane Society. Thank you so much for tuning in with us this Saturday. And speaking of tuning in, we want to give a special shout out to one of our most faithful viewers, Peter, who was recently adopted by a longtime volunteer for Pets on Parade, who helps our pets put their best paw forward for each show behind the scenes. We want to give a huge shout out to Judy and of course Peter there, who you can't really see, but he is watching POP there in that picture. And it may feel like we have some deja vu on this week's show, and if you tuned in last week, then you know why. If not, just wait till you hear about how this little one and his whole family was saved thanks to AHS and everyone who allows us to help pets each day. And if you're a fan of rock, then you may have seen the band this little one is named after recently right here in Arizona. Bree, would you like to do the honors of singing a little song? See if our viewers know what band it is.
I don't know if I could do Metallica justice, but this little sweetheart Metallica, who we've got all glammed up here, 8 weeks old, oh my goodness, big ears, cute little tail, beautiful little mackerel tabby, just absolutely a sweetheart. But boy, has this sweetheart been through a lot. Fleas really bad, and I don't know if you've ever seen what flea baths look like, but gosh, we're lucky to have folks that are able to do flea baths. Also an upset tummy where we had some GI issues that we had to take care of. But now Metallica is happy and healthy and ready to get adopted. What's super great is now through tomorrow, there's $20 adoptions, which is just so great. Thanks to Bissell, we're trying to empty the shelters. So little Metallica here is only a $20 adoption fee. And that includes everything that's already been done, the spaying, the neutering, the microchipping. It's really great. So definitely come down and meet Metallica, especially if you're a music fan like the rest of us.
Oh, absolutely. You know, maybe you guys can rock out together. You know, he looks like maybe he can open up a little bit, do some headbanging. I don't know. Thank you so much for that, Bree. And we've been so fortunate to see so many babies from this little family right here on Pets on Parade. But for anyone who isn't familiar, can you please let us know what Cam's story is, Lisa?
Yes, cute little Cam. That was his mom and his brothers and sisters. The mom was called O'Reilly and her auto parts. So this is Cam. She's a girl, but all the pups were named after auto parts just because mom was found at an O'Reilly on the hot pavement with all these babies, not knowing what to do with themselves. So luckily our EAMTs rescued them and rushed them back to our maternity suites. And Cam here is now 9 weeks old, thanks to a wonderful foster family that cared for the mom, the puppies. And then the puppies are all, not all grown up, but they're 9 weeks old now. And so they are ready to be, they were spayed and neutered. And now for $20, you can take home this adorable puppy. And ways you can help. It's cooling down, but dogs still need quite a bit of water and food. And our EAMTs are called out daily to go out for wellness checks. There's good old Andy with his water bucket. And we go out on wellness checks and we drop with a leash buckets, 1 to 2 gallon buckets if possible. If anybody has any to donate, we would greatly appreciate them. And we fill water and food out for the animals if they've been abandoned. We post a notice and they are checked on every day by our EAMTs until they can be brought into custody. We do have to give people notice. We can't just walk onto their property, even though it looks like maybe their dogs aren't being cared for. But we get notice, we give them notice and let them know, and then the EAMTs follow back up daily, and if appropriate, we will take the dogs into our care. So if anybody has 1 to 2 gallon buckets, clean buckets, it would be greatly appreciated if you could bring them to any of our locations, azhumane.org/locations. And if you bring us clean 1 gallon buckets, our EAMTs are going to be using those daily to make sure animals are taken care of and have water until we can take them into custody.
Absolutely. The work that they do is so important. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. And speaking of helping pets, last month, dog mom Deborah reached out to our team to help with her senior pup, Oliver, who had suddenly become sick. Finances were a huge struggle, and she needed quick assistance to cover veterinary bills. Thanks to a generous grant from the Gray Muzzle organization, AHS was able to provide the financial aid needed to cover Oliver's medical expenses. Within just 2 days, his condition improved. Beyond Oliver's health, this support prevented Deborah from having to surrender her beloved companion due to financial constraints. Their story illustrates how partnerships between the Gray Muzzle organization and AHS can make a huge difference in the lives of pets during these challenging times. Huge shout out to the Gray Muzzle organization and Oliver and his dog mom. And it's spooky season, and we have a kitty named after a character from a beloved show. Can you guess? We're going to give you a little hint. Da-na-na-na.
Da-na-na-na. Da-da-da-da. I want to say Pugsley. Very British is the way I would say that. But oh my goodness, look at what we have here. A little buff tabby. He's only 7 weeks old. He's just this little teeny peanut. And he came in with his sibling Wednesday, which makes sense. And they were brought in with upper respiratory infection and a little bit of what we call calesi. Those are some little ulcers in their mouth, but after a little time in our bottle baby ICU, they went to a foster heroes home and continued healing and getting all socialized, and now they're super sweet and they want to say hello. Look at you. Hi, baby. So what we have right now, you are going to be thrilled. We have a way for you to give back to help our homeless, sick, injured pets. It is the raffle for a 2023 RAV4. Valley Toyota dealerships have donated that, and we're only selling 10,000 tickets, so you have very good odds of winning a brand new car. So you have to go on azhumane.org/Toyota to figure out how to buy your tickets, because you cannot pass this up. It's the best. They are the most wonderful group that we work with for helping out and donating cars. It has been awesome. So go get your tickets today.
Absolutely. It is a huge way and has already raised over $1 million for AHS just in a few short years. So thank you for that, Janine. And don't worry, you guys, we do not have any barn animals here at Pets on Parade, but we do have a very excited pocket pitty who I've never heard that noise come out of a dog, Perry. I just don't know what's going on.
I haven't either. He's probably not going to make it now that we're on cam here. This little guy, he is a 7-month-old, and like you said, he is a pocket pitty. I couldn't believe he was 7 months, and I looked at his teeth, and I go, sure enough, this guy is 7 months old. He was a field surrender. This is a situation where he was not doing well. He was sick, but his owners realized that, and they realized they needed some help, so they reached out to us. They were not able to transport him to us, so we went out and got him. He went to our Second Chance Animal Trauma Hospital. He had some vomiting going on. He had diarrhea going on, but he is out of the woods now. He's doing very, very well. And as you can see, he's a very, very cute little pup. And like I said, these people realized they needed help, and he was not in the best of situations. That's normally not the case with a lot of the animals we deal with. People have these animals. They don't reach out to us. They are not being treated well. They are sick. Last year alone, we received over 11,000 calls for animals that were in distress. And we see it all. We see cases of tethering. We see cases no food, no water, no shelter. Animals that have injuries that aren't being treated. As you can see, they're matted animals, very, 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 very poor conditions. We see everything. You know, and as Lisa has mentioned, we are not gun-toting law enforcement officers. We cannot go onto property and take animals off because somebody calls us and tells us they're being mistreated. We need the actual permission of the police department. In a lot of cases, the court system has to give us warrants to do so. So we can do only what's in the law. And this little guy is one of the lucky ones. Like I said, he was not a cruelty case. He was just sick, and the owners did reach out to us. He is a wonderful little boy. If you see abuse of any kind, please give us a call, and maybe simultaneously call the police department also.
Absolutely, important reminder. And you know what? Spike has a lot to say today, and he agrees with you 100%. Thank you so much for that, Perry. And don't change that channel. We have plenty of adorable pets who can't wait to meet you today. We're going to tell you all about Raven's story later on in the show. Welcome back to Pets on Parade. Now, the future for Arizona's pets has never been brighter thanks to our expanded ways that we're always able to help even more sick, injured, and abused pets. And one of those huge ways is our upcoming Papago Park campus that is due to be opened later this year. We're going to check in with Nikki to see just how we're going to be able to help even more pets, specifically in our maternity suites and Parvo Puppy ICU. Let's take a look.
Hi guys, I'm Nikki Makis. I'm the shelter medical manager here at the Arizona Humane Society, and I've been here 14 years, and the amount of life-saving work that I've witnessed here is absolutely amazing. Two of the departments that I oversee is the Parvo Intensive Care Unit and the maternity suites. We really needed a place to care for these Parvo pups and care for the pregnant mom dogs, so the AHS team asked Dr. Hansen if we could use storage space to create an area to care for these pets, and that's how Parvo ICU and maternity suite started. Since starting the Parvo ICU unit and maternity suites, we have treated hundreds of pets in these special areas alone. And fun fact, did you know that we are one of the only shelters in the entire country that is able to treat Parvo? You better believe it, because it's true. And this is where all of that happens. Today, we treat hundreds of pets just in these special units alone. Our veterinary team is devoted to taking care of these pups that are very sick with the parvovirus. And if you're not familiar with parvo, it is a highly contagious virus that causes severe dehydration, vomiting, and diarrhea. Unfortunately, unvaccinated pups are more at risk for contracting this virus, and if left untreated, sadly, it is almost always fatal. And the pet techs that you see back here have saved 1,600 lives since Parvo opened their doors in 2015. And I am proud to share that just last year alone, we saved 267 dogs' lives. Now that's a lot of lives saved. And just around the corner, you'll find a special unit for the pregnant dogs, new moms, and their newborn babies. If you listen closely, you might be able to hear the classical music playing in the background to help keep these mamas and their puppies calm and happy. This area was designed to provide a stress-free place for the mamas to give birth and nurse their puppies away from a shelter environment. We opened back in 2017, but before then, our staff and fosters would often take these mama dogs home to provide a quiet and calm place for them to give birth. Since opening our maternity suites, we have welcomed hundreds of puppies into the world and watched them take their first breath and their first tiny steps. Last year alone, we cared for nearly 500 mama dogs and their puppies, like Saguaro and her adorable cacti here. And that's a lot of dogs for this small area. As you can see, we only have 4 dog kennels back here. We are so excited to expand our maternity suites at the Rob and Melanie Walton Papago Park campus, which opens later this fall. So let's go get a sneak peek to see what the future holds for these mama dogs and their babies. And we made it to the new campus. Here we are in our Withicombe family maternity suites. And as you can see, it is a much larger space. We'll be able to care for even more mamas and babies. We have 7 kennels here in our maternity suites, which is almost double the space that we have at Sunny Slope. This area has its own ventilation to help keep the mama dogs and the puppies healthy and safe until they can get into their new foster homes. Disease control will also be extremely critical over in our Susan and Mark Malzett Parvo ICU. Let's head on over there and check it out right now. And this incredible space for treating parvo features 4 separate pods with a total of 37 kennels, which is 2.5 times the size as our Sunny Slope campus. And our dedicated parvo technicians finally have their own workstation to prepare medications and food in the morning. And since parvo is so contagious, the Parvo ICU has their own ventilation system and own washer and dryer to help contain the virus and prevent it from spreading to other animals. And the Parvo ICU at our Papago Park campus has their own play yard for the Parvo pups so they can finally get some out of kennel time. Since the start of these 2 life-saving programs, our AHS medical teams have been working in tight, cramped spaces and performing amazing life-saving work every single day. We can only begin to imagine the tremendous impact our new Papago Park campus will have on our animal welfare community. We thank you, and the animals thank you too. We cannot wait to see you when we open our doors later this fall.
And just like Nikki said, we could not thank every single person enough for allowing us to be able to not only make this dream a reality, but to be able to save thousands more lives thanks to this new facility. If you'd like to learn more or ways that you'll be able to help, you can visit azhumane.org/new. And now we saw this adorable girl's pictures earlier, and it's almost time to meet Raven, who is in need of a loving foster hero home while she heals. Are you that home? Let's find out when we come back from the break. Welcome back to Pets on Parade. Now we have a big girl who needs a little TLC while she's on the road to recovery. And a home is so much more beneficial for pets like this, right, Carrie?
Absolutely. This is Raven. And I thought, hey, I have to wear my Dobie ears as well. She is just this beautiful 3-year-old female Doberman that came to AHS as a stray. And unfortunately, when she was turned in by a Good Samaritan, she had a very severe injury to her leg. And she had a broken femur. Fortunately, our wonderful veterinarian team was able to do an orthopedic surgery and put a bone plate in. And Auntie Lisa here is a staunch advocate of our Doberman friends and has fostered actually many broken Dobermans. So Lisa, what do you think that a foster hero could expect?
Yeah, she is on crate rest. So it's really an easy foster. I know a broken leg may sound scary, but it's very easy foster if you can put her in a big crate, which AHS can provide, or a baby gate on a very small bathroom or something. All you gotta do is keep her calm, put a leash on, leashed walks so that she's not overusing that leg. You can see she is a Doberman, so they have a lot of energy. She wants to run, so she needs her foster just to keep her on a leash. Give her a little bit of entertainment a couple times a day, give her medication, and she has been great. Every time I walk past her kennel, she's really taking a nap. She's already been a few weeks into healing, so she's out of the danger period, so she would really appreciate somebody's home so that she can have a little bit of quiet time to finish healing with that leg. As you can see, she's getting around so great. So don't be afraid. Any of our foster people can help you answer any questions, but she will just need a safe, quiet spot to finish healing up. All you got to do is keep her on a leash.
So you can reach us at azhumane.org/foster. We'll provide all of the supplies that you would need to take care of Raven.
Absolutely, and as you can imagine, it's a stressful environment in our shelter, so her being able to be in a home is so important. Thank you so much, ladies, for talking about that sweet girl. And we saw this little one's sibling earlier, and if we didn't have proof they came from the same litter, it might be a little hard to convince someone that they did, Bree.
Oh my gosh, this litter is so sweet. This sweetheart caliper came to us with 7 siblings. I mean, can you imagine? They all had heat distress. They were out on the asphalt. I can't imagine what that was like. But they came to us. We were able to treat them. They also had a bout of kennel cough that they've been treated for. So, I mean, gosh, they've been through a lot. And they're just little sweet puppies. And of course, lovers. I mean, gosh, the puppy breath is real. Mwah, thank you. But we need your help. We are in for a grant right now with Petco Love that we really would love to be able to qualify for. So help us earn that $100,000 by participating. And these love stories really help us share the love of adoption and also help us probably, you know, we can probably earn the grant money, which would be just extremely helpful. So definitely check that out and come down and meet Caliper. Oh my goodness, and her siblings.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. And if we do win that, and it's because of your submission, then you'll get some funding as well. So it's always great. Thank you so much for that, Bree. And in celebration of this month being National Pitbull Awareness Month, AHS's Marge Wright Veterinary Clinic is offering a special deal to pitty parents. Throughout the month of October, spay and neuter surgeries will be just $20 for our pitbull friends. The funds of these spay neuter surgeries were generously donated by AHS's Circle of Friends, a special group of donors who are passionate about combating pet overpopulation. Our Circle of Friends have made possible the spay and neuter surgeries of tens of thousands of animals, drastically reducing pet overpopulation in our community. We're so thankful to these donors who support pet parents all year long. Book your appointment today by visiting azhumane.org/spay. And our next pup comes from a very highly skilled, smart, and motivated breed. Perry, people who adopt Belgian Malinois need to know what they're getting themselves into, I think.
They do, Kelsey. This is a breed that is now being used a lot by law enforcement because they're a little bit more agile, a little more athletic than German Shepherds, but just as smart. And what does that mean to you? Well, that means you're going to need to do some training too because you have to deal with all this energy. This little girl right here, she's only 7 months old. She came into us through our animal assistance program where the owners just had too many pets. So here she is with us now. She had some scabbing a little bit on her legs and chest, but she checked out. She's okay now. You can see she's a little bit shy. She's a little bit anxious. She sees her sibling right now off camera, and she's going to be reunited with that sibling in a second here. You know, this is a very important age to start training a pet, actually even preferably before this, but it's never too late to start. You can teach a new dog tricks. If you need training, go to our website, azhumane.org/training, and read all about all the services we have.
Absolutely, training is great. And another rock band that recently performed, actually with Metallica in one of the shows, we now have adorable Pantera, who doesn't quite have the long hair look going on, Janine, but it's just as cute.
Maybe a medium hair. Oh my goodness, this one is adorable. Most tabbies you always see is those dark brown colors, but to get these little soft pastel tabbies, oh goodness gracious, he's 8 weeks old, and he did come in with Metallica, his brother, and they had the fleas, so that was all taken care of. And he went into a foster heroes home, but he started having some tummy issues. So we brought him back to the shelter, and we put him in our kitten ICU and got that under control. Then he went back to the foster, and that's where he got to live his best life, just healing and having fun with his sibling, which is great. If you could adopt 2 kittens, that is the way to go, because they teach each other what's appropriate play. They keep each other company where you're not home. And they've already been bonded as, you know, siblings, so they're awesome. Right now we have our last call for the kids camps, and it's going to be October 10th through the 12th, and you can sign up for 1, 2, or 3 days. And the children get to learn all about animals, and they get to learn, you know, how to make enrichment toys. So just go on azhumane.org/camps, and you can sign them up pronto.
Absolutely, it's a great time. Thank you for that, Janine. And don't worry, it's not time to get your eye prescription redone. You're not seeing double here, but we're going to see if you can tell the difference between these siblings when we get back after the break. Welcome back to the show. Now we have so many adorable pairs of siblings on today's show that we just wanted to keep these 2 together, Lisa.
Yeah, this is Lola. This is her sister. So they were found and surrendered together. So they're not great on the leash. So if you see them kind of panicking, they don't like feeling the leash. So leash training will be the #1 thing for these little Shepherd Malinois mixes. And leash training is easy to start with, and treats. These 2 have been enjoying hot dogs. And if you guys are thinking of Halloween, like some of us, thinking about our costumes and what we can do, don't forget about the AHS thrift stores. Just like any other thrift store, we have great items in there. I will say that they tend to have more animal and dog items, so a lot of times you can find dog and kitty costumes and costumes for yourself. We've got racks of them. So if you can either donate to the thrift store, that would be wonderful. Or if you want to get your Halloween costume, head on over to our website. All of our thrift store locations are listed right on there.
Absolutely, and the prices are cheap for some amazing finds. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. And speaking of pairs, we saw Pugsley earlier, and of course you can't have an Addams Family duo without Wednesday, right, Bree?
Sweet little Wednesday. Oh my goodness, she's so tiny. I don't know if you can tell that my hand is just surrounding her. She definitely has a lot of growing still to do. She's a little bit over 7 weeks old. She came in with Pugsley, and gosh, she is doing so great now. She's spayed, she's microchipped, she's ready to go to your home. But she is such a sweetheart. Now remember, through tomorrow, you will have an opportunity to adopt any pet at our 2 shelters for $20. That's such a great opportunity. So come down and meet her and see all the sweethearts you've got.
Absolutely. We have so many adorable pets who can't wait to meet you. Thank you so much for allowing us to be able to save these animals. We'll see you right here next week for Pets on Parade.